Coming up this morning, we have new updates on the UISG funding bill.
And later, a lot went down in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. We have all the details.
We've got buzzer beaters, upsets, and even Twitter beef coming up in sports.
And I'll have your full snowfall recap coming up.
Coming up, and all that and more coming up on this Monday, February 18th edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Noah Gowdy.
And I'm Susanna Closter.
Now, even though Groundhog's Day predicted early spring this year, we continue to see a whole lot of snow in Iowa City.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Noah, but I'm definitely getting ready for warm weather.
Yeah, and with yet another snowstorm hitting us last night, we have our weather reporter Dylan Mahalki in the newsroom to answer some questions about all this wacky weather. Good morning, Dylan.
Good morning, Noah.
Now, Dylan, how many inches of snow did we end up with after yesterday's scattered storms?
Yes, so after the storms here yesterday, Iowa City only received roughly 3 inches of snow. Yet, however, it may have looked like much more because there was already snow buildup all on the ground. Yet in Des Moines, there was over 9 inches of snow, and other parts of central Iowa got roughly 6 to 8 inches, so much more than here in eastern Iowa.
Those snowflakes looked pretty big out there. What were the road conditions like, Dylan?
Yeah, so waking up early Sunday morning, the roads were full of that full 3 inches of powdered snow. Yet, however, once the plows got going through and such, that snow quickly moved away, but there was still lots of powder buildup on the snow, so four-wheel drive was definitely a must.
So Dylan, what should students expect as they go about getting to classes today?
Yeah, as students walk to class, they should watch out for that powdered snow buildup on the ground that makes the sidewalks very slippery. However, it won't be as slippery as last week when we got that freezing rain that built up that ice rink on the sidewalks. But going up and down hills, it's still very slippery this morning, and students should definitely be on the lookout for that. But I'll be back in the weather studio to tell you all about the forecast for today, tonight, and even the whole week. Noah and Susanna, back to you guys.
Gerald Bells, a University of Iowa student, was found unresponsive near Halsey Hall on January 30th. He was found around 2:48 a.m. and was rushed to the UI hospital and clinics, where he later died at 4:30 a.m. The UI Public Safety Department received Bell's death certificate from the Johnson County Medical Examiner and deemed his death an accident. The report also showed evidence of recent THC use, a compound found in marijuana. In a statement, the Bells family shared, quote, "The family and friends of Gerald Bells would like to sincerely thank everyone who has kept us and Gerald in their thoughts and prayers. Now the family, and on behalf of those close to us, respectfully request privacy as we continue to mourn our loss," end quote.
Now, Susanna, after all of that snow we got yesterday, I'm very surprised we only got 3 inches.
Yeah, but I have to say I'm getting kind of tired of seeing all the snow. Let's see if we have any more in the forecast with Dylan and weather.
Yes, well, we have no snowfall expected today. This morning we have a temperature of 18 degrees and partly cloudy skies, and so the sun may show its face a little bit this morning. Now as we move into tonight, we have a cloudy night with our temperature lowering a bit at 10 degrees this evening. Now as we move into our extended 5-day forecast for the week, this morning we have a small chance of snow, but it doesn't look like any are going to come. Our high today will get up to 22 degrees, and late tonight it will get as low as 4 degrees. Now as we move into Tuesday, our chance of snow goes down. We have partly cloudy skies with our high at around 23 degrees and our low at 21. So in that 20-degree range the whole day. Wednesday, the snow will come again in the morning. We have a 90% chance of snow showers in the morning, with our high getting up to 33 degrees later in the day and a low of 14. Now Thursday, we have partly cloudy skies with the sun again showing out. We have only 10% chance of snow, and our high is in the mid-20s, and our low is at roughly 13 degrees. Finally, as we wrap up our weeks on Friday, we again have no snow, so that should be melting a bit. We have a high of 33 degrees and a low of 28, so nice temperatures on Friday as well. Well, as you can see, we have a little snow coming on Wednesday, but the rest of the week looks fairly nice with the sun showing out 3 of the 5 days. Noah and Susanna, back to you guys at the desk.
Last week, the UISG passed funding for the second annual First Generation Summit. We have an update on the story as funding for the bill has been vetoed after receiving an original vote of 38-7. University of Iowa Student Government President Hira Mustafa vetoed the funding, believing the UISG's $1.8 million budget shouldn't be responsible for covering the event. Mustafa released a veto statement stating, quote, "I am choosing to veto this bill on the grounds of unjustified spending when more affordable, practical alternatives are built into our institution through our communications team as well as through strategic partnerships with IMU Catering and Marketing and Design," end quote. Using IMU Catering would save the UISG over $2,000 on food, greatly cutting the cost of the event. While Mustafa is willing to cooperate on the budget solutions for the UISG, she stated none of the budget would go towards paying the event photographer, a main focus of the original bill. The Student Senate could override the veto when they meet again on February 19th. We'll bring you more as the story continues to unfold.
Things were tense in our nation's capital this weekend after President Trump declared a national emergency on Friday. Shortly after signing a spending bill to help prevent another shutdown, Trump declared the emergency in hopes of speeding up the border wall. The announcement was made at the White House, where Trump explained his reasoning behind the decision.
I'm going to be signing a national emergency, and it's been signed many times before. It's been signed by other presidents. From 1977 or so, it gave the presidents the power. There's rarely been a problem. We're talking about an invasion of our country with drugs, with human traffickers, with all types of criminals and gangs.
The president's decision to move forward with the border wall has caused some tension in D.C., as many Democrats have been against the 230-mile barrier. Trump addressed fears of going to court over his choice later in his speech.
And we will have a national emergency, and we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, even though it shouldn't be there, and we will possibly get a bad ruling, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court, and hopefully we'll get a fair shake, and we'll win in the Supreme Court.
Now, this decision seems to have many politicians split, with some already vowing legal action against the president. The White House plans on investing around $8 billion to get the border wall built.
Noah, we had a lot of Hawkeye sports in action this weekend.
Yeah, and I heard it was all really great news coming out of it. Let's toss it over to Declan in the sports studio to find out more.
Yeah, guys, quite a weekend for Hawkeye sports. Well, the Hawkeye women's basketball team took on the top team in the Big Ten yesterday, and before we show you highlights, here's a little taste of how it ended. And the Hawkeyes did it like they know how, feeding Megan Gustafson. She posted a whopping 31 points, 24 of which came in the second half. She also grabbed 17 rebounds, leading the Hawkeyes on Pink Day. But with under 3 minutes to go, it was Alexis Sevillan putting up this three, stepping it back and knocking it down in the corner to help propel the Hawkeyes to an impressive 86-73 victory. This win put the Hawkeyes in a tie atop of the Big Ten standings with only 3 more games to play before the conference tournament.
You know, Hannah kind of kept us in the game the first half, and then Megan did a great job. I thought Tanaya really led us, 5 assists, no turnovers, shot the ball well. But Lexi's 3 with 2:30 left to go puts us up 6, and I thought that was a huge, huge basket for us, and then we made free throws.
Now, I'm sure you noticed from those highlights that there was a little different in the Iowa jerseys. DITV sports reporter Allie Green tells us more on why the Hawks were thinking pink in their big win.
On a very special day, the Hawkeyes pull off a huge win against Maryland here at home. This last Sunday, Hawkeye basketball fans traded in their black and gold for pink for the annual breast cancer awareness game. The players even upgraded their jerseys for pink uniforms with a very special addition on the back.
It's really special. I mean, we always talk about as a team, even before the season starts, that we're playing for the name on front of our jersey. But it's really special that we get to put the name on the back of our jersey, someone in our life that's been affected by cancer, and it's a really powerful feeling. I've got my grandma on the back, and I never got to meet her, but I know that she's watching and she's really proud, so it's really special.
The Hawks upset the #1 team in the Big Ten, but the focus on the game was kept on honoring those affected by cancer. The team even brought out cancer survivors for their player introductions.
To get to see that and for them to have that experience, we're really glad that we could do that for them after they've had such a tough fight.
Not only did the Hawks play an incredible game, but they came together to recognize an entire community. The game ended with a final score of 86-73. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Allie Green, DITV Sports.
Now, Bluder's Bunch wasn't the only basketball team in action this weekend. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but at this point, Iowa had another Big Ten buzzer beater. Here's what head coach Fran McCaffrey had to say about that shot that I still can't believe went in.
You still have a chance to win, and you have to make sure you have the right people on the floor, and they understand the framework of what we're trying to do. You know, I think contrary to what a lot of people think, you know, we diagram these things and it goes to perfection. It never goes to perfection. There are multiple options in a situation like that, and you hope that one of them works. Same thing happened in the last game. There were multiple options. Bohannon hits a three this time. Joe hit the three, and it's terrific, you know, for our team. Hurts if you're the other team, but if you have smart kids with character and you give them some framework, they'll execute, and at least you have a chance.
That shot. Wow. Well, now both basketball teams getting big wins this weekend had encouraged some healthy competition on Twitter. Tyler Cook quote tweeted this tweet that said, if TC and Megan Gustafson played one-on-one, the score would be 11-0 in Megan's favor. And Megan responded by saying that she might have left TC, she might let him score once or twice, but that he had to teach her how to dunk. I don't know who would win that game, but man, that sure would be a good one to watch. Now, while both Cook and Gustafson were wrestling it out on Twitter, the Iowa wrestling team was doing it on the mat Friday night when they hosted Indiana for senior night. Senior Spencer Lee spent the night pretty easily as he took on Indiana's Elijah Oliver to help the Hawkeyes jump to a 6-0 lead. Then everyone's favorite villain returned to Carver Hawkeye one last time this season. And yes, I'm talking about Austin DeSanto. DeSanto Tech Falls Indiana's Paul Conrath 18-3. It only took DeSanto 2 minutes and 46 seconds to make Carver Hawkeye Arena about as rowdy as he is. And finally, Alex Marinelli pinned his opponent in just 2 minutes and 10 seconds. The Hawkeyes finished on top with a final score of 37-9, but not everybody was happy.
I mean, we probably underperformed tonight overall. And, you know, we had to track a guy down that left the building, and that does not sit well with me. And, you know, when you get beat, you have to be able to get back on the horsey and gallop.
Well, the Hawks will gallop to Stillwater this weekend to face Oklahoma State. And while the wrestling team is headed to Oklahoma, the baseball team is just getting back from Florida. I'm only a little jealous. There's totally not 3 inches of snow outside. But tune in tomorrow to see how they did their opening weekend. Noah and Susanna, back to you.
Thank you for tuning into this Monday morning edition of DITV.
And be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Susanna Kloster.
And I'm Noah Gowdy. Have a great day, Iowa City.